I can't sleep. So let's go. It's about 3:30 in the morning. I can't sleep. I did sleep a little bit on the couch with the cat. Um, but I just tried to lay down and I can't sleep. And I remembered that I picked some valerian the other day. So let's go see what we can conjure up. Oh. So over here, I picked some valerian. Here we go. This is valerian right here. We've got valerian, echinacea, a few different herbs there. Let's go see what else we can find. Let's see. Really quick. Since it's 3 a.m. and the veil's thin, I figure let's pull a quick little card. Oh, gosh. Trying to get you guys to balance right here. Okay, here we go. Put this tray on the floor. Spirits and spirit guides are calling you this evening. Please send us a message that we are needing to hear. I call upon your guidance. We've got the 8 of Cups reversed. So the cups refer to wishes, emotions, so let's read what it says. Yes, Sage? Dreams and visions which are not immediately obvious make up a valuable part of your feelings. Let them help your consciousness and your powers of discrimination grow. Start searching. Be aware of the card's warning about the kind of restlessness Hat strides on too hastily, missing the very goal. A parable for life's journey. Each of us carries a river within ourself. We say that everything flows, but sometimes the inner stream is just a trickle, and sometimes it is a flood that inundates everything. Your task is to open up your inner flow and exercise an influence on it. This is the best way to deal with obsession and overwrought enthusiasm, as well as lethargy and loneliness. Understanding one's own destiny, it is all the easier to make out the closer we are to our flow. The mills of God grind slowly, yet they grind exceedingly small. That means patience can help, and there is a time for everything. There is a time for everything, and everything is important. Encourage yourself and your partner to go each his or her own way. Very good for love. Go with the flow. Following the flow of energy not only takes the least effort, but it also achieves the best results. Who is underway here? Is it you, your partner, a stranger? Are you following your inner flow, or have you turned your back on yourself, running away from yourself? The sun and the moon fight for mastery, or they complement each other. The sun usually stands for the conscious will. The moon represents what is one's own private below the level of consciousness. The river can be seen in different ways. It may seem that the red-robed figure is walking with the flow toward the mouth, or upstream along the river towards its source. You will find a way if you rely on and follow the power of the soul and the strength of your wishes, and proceed with strength of will and passion and awareness. Mountains can stand for difficulties and blockages, but equally for peak performance and summit experiences. A psychological axiom: if you want to achieve great things, you must follow the flow of your spiritual energy. You master obstacles and cope while under pressure when, like water, you follow the lay of the land. In other words, you go where the greatest energy is to be found, and then do what that energy helps you do best. The path to the wellspring takes you back to your roots, a necessity at every stage of life. The path to the river's mouth is that of your calling and destiny, what you have found to be right for your life. You also take account of the other side of the coin, pros and cons of a person, a situation, and also yourself. Or, in a negative sense, you harp on to yourself about your own disabilities, your weaknesses, handicaps. The staff is reminiscent of the cards, the Hermit and the Chariot, and of the Wanderer in the image of the Six of Cups. It stands for confidence in one's own strength and for being conscious of one's own weak points. The cups takes you into their midst. No longer do you have the cups in your hand, but they have you. Your capacities are insufficient for dealing consciously with mighty feelings. So what I am getting from reading this is that, sorry, the cat is using the bathroom right about now. But we have a choice right now, okay? We have a choice that we can make. We can convince ourselves that we are weak, that we are a certain way because we've always been that way. We can do that. That is your right as a human being. You can absolutely, if you're comfortable with your life and you don't want to change absolutely anything, but you're unhappy but you're kind of okay with being unhappy, that's on you, okay? And you have to accept that. Sometimes a lot of people, they don't want to separate from their sadness or their trauma, because without that, a lot of people are empty. They don't have anything else to identify themselves with, you know? And I know for myself, I did that. I did that so much in my life. I identified so heavily with the broken aspects of myself. I identified so heavily with the BPD, with the addiction aspects. Everyone in my family's addicts. It's, I had this story going of how I had an addictive personality. And all of that story was making me do was stand in my own way. That was it. I wasn't able to get off drugs because I convinced myself I wasn't strong enough to withstand the withdrawal. Okay. So I stayed on drugs for years, you guys. And to be honest, I'm still on drugs. If you want to, if you really want to look at it like that, some people do, a lot of people do. I take Subutex because I'm a drug addict. And if I don't take the Subutex, see, this is another story I'm telling myself. I catch myself doing it all the time. The story, and I know it's not true because I know that I'm powerful enough to withstand withdrawal because I've done it several times before. I'm powerful enough to overcome that. It takes about 3 weeks, okay? It takes about 3 weeks. But the point is, your mind and your thoughts and your words are so powerful. They are so powerful, you guys. And you can literally talk yourself into being sick. You can complain your way into constant difficulties in your life. You can manifest problems because that's all you talk about. When you see your friend, all you do is talk about what's going wrong in your life. That's how you manifest more problems. The way you use manifestation is you actually use yourself, your voice, your words as a vessel, okay? Recognize that your thoughts aren't actually your thoughts. They're just passing through. It's like, and you're gonna, okay, so let me put this into analogies because I know that's like, I love to do that. That's one thing I love to do because it helps people understand what I'm talking about a lot better. So you're a radio, okay? Here's your fucking bunny antenna. Hello, I'm a radio. Here's my FM. Here's my AM, okay? My feelers are up here in the ether, okay? And there is a bubble of thoughts. There's just a mass of, if you've ever seen the movie, what is that movie called? With Leonardo DiCaprio in, what is it called? Anyway, it's about dreams, okay? Inception, that's what it is, Inception. So in that movie Inception, they have a place in the dream world called, I can't remember what it's called, like limbo is what it's called, okay? And it's just unconstructed, infinite consciousness, basically. Like you can, so imagine you have like this bubble, this cloud that's invisible to the human eye, okay? Because we can't see radio waves, right? We can't see them. So there's just all this possibilities of thought going around you. There's all these possibilities. And whatever you're carrying inside. So if you're always telling your problems to people, if you are, if somebody says, hey, you want to try this? And you say, oh, no, I can't do that. If you don't try something new because you convince yourself that you don't know how to do it. All of those things, that's like you're tuning into the negative station, okay? So there's all these stations that you can tune into, and whatever you are telling yourself, the thoughts, the emotions you're carrying, the emotions you're not processing, all of these things, okay, and it all is the cups, everything. It's your emotions, it's your, the stories you tell yourself, it's what you hold inside of you and what you are telling other people. And this is a message that I will forever repeat because I think it's so important and nobody teaches you this. It's something you have to go searching for on your own, and only after years and years and years of getting it wrong do you actually come to understand it a little bit. So with that, all of that in mind, you guys, you can absolutely interrupt a negative thought and say, you know what? That's not true. That's not true. That is a defense mechanism. Most of what we do is defense mechanisms. It's fear of the unknown. And so you shut it down. You make an excuse. You tell yourself a story. You tell somebody else a story. This is how I am. I can't change. There's a lot of people out there like this. My own father, this is why I stopped talking to my dad, because he absolutely refused. He couldn't see that he had a choice. You have a choice in how your life plays out. You absolutely have a choice. And when you don't, like it says, you have to find your weaknesses, okay? So like in my early 20s, you guys, I didn't know that I was a lightweight. I mean, I kind of knew, Sage, I kind of knew that I was a lightweight with alcohol, but I didn't understand my limit, okay? I didn't know where the limit was when I was tipsy to when I was blackout drunk, doing things I, would have never done. I didn't know where that point was. So I didn't know when to stop. I was just throwing them back and getting myself into a lot of situations that I would have never been in had I not been drunk. Well, about 28, you guys, I was about 28 when I realized, okay, 3 shots of tequila, I'm good. 3 shots of tequila, Jennifer's still here. 3 shots of tequila, Jennifer can still function, make, conscious decisions, and everything will be fine. I'll not sleep with anybody that night that I didn't want to sleep with because I was too drunk to have any kind of capacity to say no. So I found out, I was finding out my weaknesses through fails. and if I could save people that, if I can, if you don't know how many drinks it takes you to still be conscious, aware, and in control, go out there, buy you a bottle of liquor if you're old enough, and take shots until you, just until you get to that point, okay? Take the shots until you figure it out, so that you know where your limit is, so that you don't go out to a party and then you get around people and you let your nervousness take over and you just start throwing them back. Okay, and then you lose control, and then you're a mess, and then blah, and then you make decisions that you didn't want to do. Okay, so you have to find your weaknesses. You have to find your boundaries. You have to know what you want. You have to know what you're willing to put up with. Like with me, my boundaries are, you don't make me feel special, because I will damn sure make you feel special. But if you don't make me feel special, bitch, I'm out. I'm out. If you don't make me feel a part of your life, you don't explicitly tell me that you want me here, bitch, I'm out. That's because, I'm explicitly saying all these things. So I naturally want them back. And so, you got to find your boundaries. You got to find your weaknesses and really go into those weaknesses, though, because sometimes, a lot of the times, what you think is a weakness is actually just a fear. It's not an actual weakness, because if you were put in that situation, you probably could overcome it. No doubt. I've been put in situations in my life that absolutely terrified the absolute hell out of me. But you know what? I experienced it. And when I got to the other side of that experience, it dawned on me, I had nothing to be scared of. I had nothing to be scared of at all. That was easy. That was easy. Here I was thinking I couldn't do it. So many things, you guys. So many things. Now, I've gotten to a point where if something bad happens, I'm like, oh, what do I need to be learning from this? You absolutely have a choice, okay? You have a choice in who you want to be. We're not in the world anymore of this is just who I am. Deal with it. Fuck no. We're not in that world anymore. Wake up. Wake up, people. Wake up. Wake up, kitties. Wake up, kitties. We're not in the 3D world no more. Okay? We are in a world where our thoughts, our words, they matter. They matter. What you tell yourself is absolutely what you're going to be. So why not tell yourself the best things possible? And instead, like I said in that spirituality video, instead of praying to God, if you're a Christian, praying to Hecate, if you're, keeper of the keys, praying to whoever, instead of doing that, build yourself up. Even if you don't believe it, you don't have to believe it at first. That's not the way it works. Fake it till you make it. Have you ever heard that? Fake it till you make it. It absolutely works. And it's not really faking it. It's practicing it. After 21 days, I promise you, you will believe it. I swear to God. I swear to God. And you know what? If you have this unshakable faith, okay, that no matter what happens, I will be able to rebuild, because I have talents, I have skills, and there is always opportunity. No matter what happens, I can always rebuild. If you continue to tell yourself that, literally you will become unstoppable. I promise. You will be able to do anything that you have ever wanted to do. You will lose all fear. It's okay, Jixie. It's okay. I'm talking to our friends. Look, come here. Look, come say hi to our friends. Oh, that's our friends. You see? That's a baby. You can smell that. What is it? Oh, it's a plant? Oh, she's so pretty. She's such a pretty cat. I hope I can inspire anybody that watches these videos. Tell yourself good things. Tell other people good things. Even if you're not good, say I'm trying. Say I'm working to get there. Instead of saying, oh, my life is shit, say I'm working to make my life better. You can flip the script. You can flip the script anytime you want. And it will absolutely change your life. I promise you. People, they hear this all the time, but they don't believe it. They don't actually believe it, so they don't practice it. They hear it and they think, oh, that's just a bunch of mumbo jumbo hippie bullshit. It's not, though. It's not, because I did it. I did it. I used this method. I've been through so much hard things in my life that came this close to making me, I've literally hung myself up in trees, you guys. I have absolutely done that. I have been seconds away from killing myself several times. I've got deep scars on my wrists. Okay, you guys, when I was 18, I slit my throat. I sat there and slit my throat in the mirror. I have been seconds away from ending it all, because at points in my life, I felt like I was going to drown because I didn't know how to live. I didn't understand. Nobody taught me that continuing to think negatively and hate myself and hate the world and not see anything positive, continuing to do that is what was keeping me in that space. Nobody taught me that. And I'll tell you, if somebody in my life would have came along, or I would have seen a video of somebody saying, your thoughts and your words absolutely matter and they dictate everything that happens in your life. And they would have, and I didn't have any other choice but to believe that. You guys, how much better my life, how much different my life would have been. But of course, I would not want my life to have been different because I would not have learned anything. Well, obviously I would have, but it wouldn't have been the same. I would not be me. I want all of you to actually take this seriously. Start to tell yourself good things. Start to tell other people good things about yourself. Don't talk about your flaws. Don't talk, and if you do talk about them, because it's always good, you have to acknowledge those things. Talk about them in a way that's positive, you know? Instead of, oh, I'm so fat, I'm getting healthier. I'm working towards health. Instead of, nothing ever goes right, say, there are things out of my control and I'm doing the best that I can. There's a way to flip the script all the time. And I promise you, I swear on everything that I love, that this works. But only you have that key to do it. Like, you can go to church all day long. You could sit and read the Bible. You can become a monk and you could literally just pour yourself into these things. But if you don't change your thought process, if you don't interrupt those negative thoughts that are just floating on by, okay? If you don't interrupt, if you don't stop it in the middle of it and redirect your mind, you know, then you're letting your environment and you're letting things have power over you. You're giving your power away when you tell people negative things about yourself. You're giving your power away when you don't recognize the good things about yourself. You're giving your power away when you go to church and you pray for help, but you don't do anything about it. If you don't change your daily habits, the way you talk to yourself, the way when you look at yourself in the mirror, what is the first thing that comes to your mind? If you don't change that, if it's something negative, then you're never going to have peace in your life. You will never have peace in your life. If you are constantly judging people, okay? If you have I know people who have Bibles that they won't put stuff on top of because it's sacrilegious, but they will judge somebody in a heartbeat. They'll call somebody a fat ass or a whore, or they'll tell me that I'm crazy because God is within me, even though that's what the Bible teaches you. Okay, and so these people, you know, my favorite thing to do to them is this is what I do. I say, so what would you say if I told you that I was Jesus Christ or God? What would you say? What would be your response? Naturally, their response is, well, I'd say you're crazy. I'd say you're insane. And I'd say, well, that's not very Christian of you, because then you would have been the dude hanging Mr. JC up on the cross. That would have been you, because you would have told him he was crazy. I don't know. It seems like you've misunderstood the message. It seems like you haven't understood the assignment, my friend. It seems like you have totally missed the whole purpose of it. It seems like you haven't been paying attention in Sunday school. You know, my friend, you have not been paying attention. You have not been doing your homework. Not very Christian of you, my friend. Not very Christian of you at all. And so that's just a little joke I like to play with, you know, Christians. The judgmental ones. It's really funny. It's really funny to watch them have that little moment in their head of, oh, fuck. Oh, fuck. She's right. You know, they get this little moment of confusion, and it stops them dead in their tracks because they're realizing the contradiction in all of their actions. And it's quite fun. It's quite fun to do. Anyway, you guys, it's getting early, late, one or the other. Let's pull one more card. Ah, death. I love this card. It's time to let those old ways die out, you guys. The old world is dying. Dixie. And for something new to be built, the old has to die. Okay? So don't fear death. Dixie, do you fear death? You don't fear death, do you, Dixie? Anyway, guys, I hope you have a beautiful night, morning, afternoon, whatever it is, wherever you are. Let's ring the bell. I love you all.